Hello. I used to send trade offers and it used to take a long time. I wouldn't have enough time for my kids. Selling items on the marketplace would take a long time and I could only do it one by one. I used to have to calculate my own trade-off contracts. It's a hassle. But with Steam Wizard, I have time to do other things. I have time for my family, I have time for my kids, and yet again, I can be part of the family. Thanks to Steam Wizard, displaying 100 items per page, showing float on the market, quick MacLeod screenshots, all this is possible. With links to prices on alternative markets and sponsorship by the best site in the world, Steam Wizard is a sure winner. No, but for real guys, if you haven't tried Steam Wizard, it's actually a lot better than Steam Inventory Helper, and I suggest you get it because it is very nice. You can see prices on external markets and on trading bots. On the market you can see the float, the pattern index, put it in the trade-up calculator and get the MacLeod screenshot. Sending huge trade offers is actually really easy, goes fast and is not laggy at all. It doesn't contain a bunch of ads, it's all free, the only advertisement they have are the trading bots, and you can download it from the link in my description. This is a non-sponsored opinion, it's actually the best add-on for Chrome on Steam. It's very nice. Hello guys, it's your boy Anomaly from Sweden. A lot of people ask me to do a video like this where I talk about how I make profit on Steam with items and how, you know, I trade and invest or whatever, so I decided to finally do it. So today I'm going to talk about how you can make money on Steam with whether it be CS, H1C1, PUBG or any other big game that has items. I will show you how to make money on it. It's very nice. So I'm going to talk about a couple of ways you can make money. It can be investing, it can be trading, it can be flipping items, it can be really like creative new ways to make money, but I'll go through them one by one. Very nice. So the first one I'm going to talk about is trading, which for most people is pretty straightforward. You have one item and you trade it for another item, which is more value. But there's more than that. So the first thing is you should find your own niche of items if you're going to trade, whether it be really good floats, like the best floats in the world, the worst floats in the world, having special patterns, or having very high tier rare items. One other thing which is really important as well is having a nice network of friends that you trade with. So having a really big network of people that you trade with that you know could be interested in the items that you're getting is very important, because that way items won't sit and gather dust in your inventory. Your Steam funds won't be locked into one asset. I'm starting to sound like fucking Warren Buffett. Very nice. But basically, if you add people that you know collect items or trade items and could be interested in your items, you have a much greater chance of getting your item traded away for profit. I've made other videos on trading, and in my opinion it's pretty straightforward. You trade something for something else at a higher price, and you can do that in many different ways, and yeah, it's pretty fucking easy. Now the second thing I'm going to talk about is investing in items, and I really like this part because it's so easy. You just put your money in one thing, you wait, and you get more money back. Nice! Now there are many factors and research that go into which items I want to buy to invest in, but the most recent item I actually invested in was the Gamescom Invitational Crates. And if we scroll down and you look at the lifetime price, I bought in around here and I sold around here, so yeah, that's pretty good. Now I did this on a very large scale. I invested around 2 or 2,500 euro into this, so that's a massive amount, and then I sold them and made a large chunk of profit. Now I know many people that watch this video can't just put in 2,000 into one item, and they probably shouldn't, but I did it because this was really a very solid case of this item is going to go up. A really solid case. Now what made me pick this item and with such certainty know that it was going to go up in price that I invested a lot and actually made profit? Now I actually have a website here which states exactly why this item in particular was really good. So here it is. So the Gamescom Invitational Crate was limited during the Gamescom Invitational, and after the Gamescom they stopped selling them. So it's limited supply. So as you can see, the game was already on a really upwards trend since the Gamescom case was released in early August, and therefore the demand is going to be bigger. I also checked how many of them were being sold each day, and as you can see here, during the prime time, there was 60,000+ being sold every day, which is, that's a lot. Even though the price was 7+ euro here, you can see that over 10,000 were still being sold almost every day, which is really insane. So I had this item which I knew was going to be limited supply, the demand was probably just going to get bigger, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's going to go up in price, right? Unless they fucking terminate the game. Another thing is you really shouldn't put all your funds into one single item. Even though you know it's going to go up, anything can happen, so it's important to spread out your investments. I had a ton of these Gamescom crates, but that wasn't the only thing I had. I also bought things like these, the tracksuit tops and bottoms, all the other skins from the Gamescom crate, because when the crate goes up in price, the items also go up in price. Jesus Christ, dude, was a fucking robot? Also, if you invested in an item that kinda goes like this, you see it stays around the same price all the time, it's not worth keeping those items. For if you have them for a long term, you might think like, hey, I don't want to lose money, maybe I'll wait another few months and maybe they'll go up in price. That's probably not going to happen, so I'd say you're better off selling them and then buying other things, which are actually going to go up in price. Nice. Now, there are some things that are almost always going to go up in price, and that, as I said, supply and demand are limited edition items, like team stickers. One extreme example of this is the EMS Katowice 2014 stickers. And the most extreme sticker from that case is the iBuy Power Holo, which you all probably know of, and yeah, it's pretty expensive now. Ooh. Another thing which I think is really important as well is being fast on the news. You should always check when there's an update, see the changelog, what they changed. For example, when they made the M4 Howl contraband, I was really quick on the news. So within the first month of it going contraband, I think I got 6 factory new M4 Howls and the last StatTrak minimal wear on the market, which is really nice. I also ended up buying, I think, 10 or 20 of these Howling Dawn stickers. Now, I guess it was kind of a risk, a chance, because no other item had ever been contraband, but since they stated that they were going to be fully removed from the Huntsman case, they weren't ever going to be, like, reprinted, you know, they weren't ever going to be made again. It had its own special rarity, which no other item ever had. And there was the huge news about it, the price obviously was going to spike, so I bought a lot of them and made a very nice profit. One other thing about the Howl that was kind of interesting at the time was that the creator of the Howl skin, who got copyright striked, DMCA copyright, because he used art that he didn't own on the Howl design, actually had a few other skins in the Huntsman collection. So all of these 5 skins are no longer available in the Huntsman case, as you can see here. So at the time, I bought a fair few of each of these, the Dual Battles Retribution, Desert Warfare, Poison Dart, Curse, and Orion, because I thought, of course, they were going to, you know, be very expensive. So as you can see by the graph of the StatTrak USP Orion, here is where the case was still in full effect, and here's when it got removed. So the price spiked a whole lot. And over here is when they introduced StatTrak trade-ups. God damn it. But nonetheless, this StatTrak USP Orion crash is a really good example of why you shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket. Imagine if you took all of your money and you invested it into those USP Orions because you thought, hey, they're not gonna add them again. There's no way I can lose money. You never know what Valve or anyone else are going to do, so they added StatTrak trade-ups, bam, all of the value is gone. Be very careful what you invest in. Now, another thing which really went up in price, which I don't think you really could have foreseen, but it really went up in price, is the pre-order items of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The PlayerUnknown's pre-order set consists of the bandana, the trench coat, the pants, the shirt, and the... what the fuck are... shoes? Shoes? Wow. Shoes. And the shoes. I couldn't figure out the word for it. Am I having a stroke? It tastes like copper. I can't feel my left arm. What the fuck? So the pre-order of the game, I think, was like, I don't know, $30 or something. And right now, all of the pre-order items cost 1,620 euro. the PlayerUnknown's bandana is the most expensive from this set, and when it was the cheapest, it was being sold for around 20-30 euro on the market. Now, of course, you couldn't foresee that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was literally going to be one of the biggest games in the world by the end of the year, but if you bought a fair few of these, well, you did a lot of profit. And lastly, there's a lot of other ways you can start by like making money on Steam. I've seen very creative people who have their entire Steam profile dedicated to basically being like a designer for your Steam profile. So if you want custom GIFs like this one, very nice. You can pay him like 1 or 2 keys and he'll do it for you, do the background, send you everything, and you pay him basically to design your profile. I think that's a pretty creative way of making money on Steam. But basically, if you have the effort and are willing to put in the starting cash to start making money on Steam, it's actually pretty easy. So I guess that's it for the video. A lot of people have been asking me for this video for a long time, and yeah, I guess it was really nice. With Steam Wizard, you can send trade offers quicker, faster, and easier. It's really good. From the creators of CSGO Zone and NetGen comes Steam Wizard. Aj, vad jävlar ont i... Åh jävlar! Vad i helvete!